Hello everybody, I'm Novo2 and thank you for watching this video. Turtle Rock Studios released a little character card teaser for, I think in American English we might look at this word, this name and go hedge. So I think in Mandarin it might be more like hung. Either way, the new character, the other new character now being released in Tunnels of Terror. A little quick look at his cards, a little discussion on what he's got going on here. His first ability, senses and can ping nearby attachments, prepper stash doors, and hive entrances. Nearby attachments? That's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. For the most part, attachments are just sitting in the crate, right? And I know most people like to loot the map from end to end. I try to encourage the loot and scoot, check the quick area, and then move on, right? Though, if we do encounter attachments, typically you want to stop and check them because attachments end up being a very important part of making your weapon suitable for late game. So this will just help guarantee that you don't miss anything that you might miss otherwise in the future, things like that. Potentially, this will matter most for like alarmed doors, where there's an alarmed door, and behind that alarmed door is the infinite mystery of the universe. What's behind that alarmed door? We don't know, right? But if you have like offensive scavenger, support scavenger, you can see things through walls. Hung can now see attachments through walls as well. So it might come into play for that particular scenario where an alarm door is hiding epic loot. You're trying to make the decision as to whether or not you should break down that alarm door. Hung can now help you make that choice. Can sense prepper stash doors. I don't know if anyone's ever had a problem finding a prepper stash door, right? This is the toolkit door. With that being said, I will make a little argument for this being kind of a cool idea, at least going into the future. On most of the maps, on 99% of the maps, the toolkit room is pretty much on the beaten path of all of the missions. Like in some way or another, you come into close proximity to that door, to the toolkit room, anyways, like super naturally. And for the most part, for us gamers, you just memorize. You begin to memorize where they are. Like I literally can recall every single prepper stash room on every single mission, on every single one, right? You just memorize. Except, and this is probably true of you as well, Trailer Trashed. From my understanding, Trailer Trashed has two active toolkit rooms on it at all times, and both of those rooms move around in the trailer park. And so searching the trailer park comfortably to find both of those toolkit rooms, I can't stand it. I don't do it. I encourage people, even if you open up both toolkit rooms, though I guess because of the free use of the med cabinet, other than that, for the most part, there's no amount of loot in the game in any given area that's worth anyone taking damage or getting downed over, right? Because trauma ends up becoming the most health is the most expensive resource in the game, so like hunting through the trailer park, not ideal, wouldn't recommend it. But on that one map where there's a lot of guesswork as far as figuring out exactly where those two toolkit rooms are hiding on Trailer Trash, Hung can help us find that way, way, way easier. Kind of neat, right? Other than that, in the current state of the game, being able to see prepper stash doors, not really a big deal. Like, pretty much a non-factor, because we just know where they all are, and they're all pretty easy to get to. But with Trailer Trash being that exception, it makes me think for the future missions and maps might have more convoluted toolkit room locations. Kind of neat idea, right? Maybe a toolkit room that's actually super hard to find in the first place. People will need Hung to find it to begin with, and maybe it'll have 4 or 5 different spawn locations, and each one of those locations are hidden by a wall of jungle vines or something like that. I don't know. It just makes me think that in the future there might be some added potential value to this ability to see prepper stash doors. by different map design. And I think that's kind of exciting. And then being able to see Hive entrances. From my understanding, I thought Hive mode was going to be a different game mode. Like you weren't going to queue up for campaign, you would queue up for Hive mode and do like a dungeon crawl thing. But this clearly implies that the Hive entrances are going to be randomly dispersed throughout a campaign and that you'll go into a Hive, do whatever you need to do, and then exit back into the mission that you've completed or something like that. We don't know the exact details, at least I don't. Um, which is kind of neat. So I'm glad for one that this would indicate, at least from this character card, at least that the hives will not be a separate game mode, potentially not risking splitting player population and things like that. So kind of an interesting thing. I have no idea if these hive entrances are going to be hard to find without him, if they're going to be how random they're going to be, and things like that. So kind of a neat idea. And kind of neat. We'll probably see. I mean, we'll see both characters being played constantly during the release, but kind of neat to see exactly how the Turtle Rock Studios has hidden or placed or where the hive entrances can spawn, and if the epic loot at the end of these dungeons is quite cool, then having Hung being there to reliably find them. Excuse me, being there to reliably find them. Kind of neat. So kind of a neat little bonus perk he's got. Here's the weird one. Here's the weird one. When hit by mutation, there is a chance that an item will fall out of Hung's pockets. Like, is that a quip on him being older, being an older person, that he just can't remember what he's got stuffed in all his pockets, and he gets hit and something falls out, and he goes, "Oh, that's where I put it." Like, why can't he just pull it out and give it to us now? I'm assuming the items will obviously be like grenades, extra pain pills, things like that, will fall out of Hang's pockets. I don't know what this means. I'm assuming that this is going to generate extra resources for us, but we have to take damage for it, and there's only a chance. So for us in Nightmare mode, there is almost never, ever a scenario where you want to trade health for resources, right? If you have a choice between saving a grenade and getting hit by a tall boy, or just throwing the grenade and taking out the tall boy, you throw the grenade because, again, health is the most expensive resource in the game. It's pretty much never correct to sacrifice your health to save some amount of resources, right? Now, in solo queue, do we throw a grenade and save our teammate who got grabbed by a crusher out in the open? I don't know. Maybe when it comes to our health, you never trade health for resources. When it comes to teammates' health, you decide for yourself if that teammate is worth 150 copper, basically. Because sometimes you'll need that grenade to solo clutch because you're that gamer. You know what I mean? So kind of a weird ability. He takes damage, he gets things. So I don't, I can't imagine that this would be good trying to make it happen on purpose. But what's really interesting about this ability is that this encourages Hung to be a tank, maximum resistance, maximum health resistance, recovery, support tank. I don't know, but like you still don't want to just go run around and take free damage, even if you've spent all 15 cards getting maximum damage resistance and you're just crouch walking everywhere and just taking damage. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. At the same time, though, every once in a while getting a free item because, it's nightmare mode. You do take chip damage here and there, and every once in a while a stinger shows up and he'll shoot you once, and I don't know. Kind of a neat idea. I don't think you can ever truly build a deck around it. At least not completely. But to some extent, Hung will probably benefit slightly from having some extra survivability. Because I mean, what if you're slightly tankier than everyone else, and somebody dies, and then like a defib, you know, pops out of his chest. His right, and potentially bring someone back to life and things like that. Anyway, here is his like tried and true ability, though. I think plus 5%, or I shouldn't say that. Like his quantifiable, like this is what he gives the team. This like the static bonus effect he gets plus 5% team accessory reuse chance. Cool, cool. I hope this applies to grenades and things like that. 5%, not very much, but if we go over the course of a couple of missions and you throw a grenade and you get a reuse chance on that grenade, you get a free grenade. That's a huge boon potentially. As well as this is going to synergize really really well with support scav and upgraded bandages. I already think in the game as far as maximum health goes, like providing your team with maximum amount of health. Support Scav and Poultice are the two best cards as far as just flat health gain for the team over the course of a mission. And having bandages with an extra 5% use chance could be really, really, really clutch. And etc. And if you potentially couple bandages with like the each accessory use heals a teammate 3 points of trauma or whatever, I don't know. There's some potential here. Really, really nice potential with the 5% reuse chance, and I just think it's just fun. It's really, really fun when it triggers. It's like a little, it's like Ogre Magi in Dota 2, right? We're all gamblers at the casino of life here. I think Hung understands that. And then melee weapon hatchet. So now at this point, for the most part, all the basic weapons have a character who carries it, right? A large portion of the weapons have a character who carries it, and now there's a character who carries all of the melee weapons, right? Evangela's got the machete, and Holly has the bat. Charisse has the fire axe, and now the hatchet. Sort of, I think, taking a lot of pressure off of having your melee character need the weapon or look for the weapon that they need or that they prefer. Things like that. Exciting stuff here, little teaser. Let me know what you think in the comments about his abilities. I do think that Prepper Stash Doors highlights is something that could be uh, improved power-wise by future map design. So we'll hope this DLC goes good and there'll be future map design. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll see how often he's I don't know, just squirting out resources when he takes damage. I assume that every tick of damage from a wretch will trigger Hung's ability. So there might be maybe some sort of cheeky damage resist. Hung's always playing the resist toxic, resist acid, burn card, and maybe there's a way for Hung to just like pop pain pills and stand in a pool of wretch acid, and he's just like squirting squirting items out of his body. I don't know. There might be some sort of weird build like that possible. We'll have to wait and see. Very exciting stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the future.